Can you speak to how, like, what was your experience on this project compared to a traditional project in terms of stress, trying to manage the job? How was it different for you? Let's start with the field perspective first.
Well, there seemed to be a lot less stress on this project than I've seen in past projects. I don't know about my site foreman. They were always looking for information, but there was a whole lot less stress on me, I know that. There were times that we were probably building faster than the information we had for the field guys, and those days were fairly stressful, but in a matter of a day or two we managed to get those issues sorted out and back on track again. But I think if we could have had more time to work on the model up front, it would have been a fairly smooth job.
What about for you, Charles? How would you compare this? Thinking about, you know, the architect's involvement and when decisions are made and how your role is during construction. How would you compare it?
Yeah, again, we had the discussion earlier about, you know, trying to evaluate what the cost savings with the methodology is, and it is difficult because every building is a one-off, and what do you compare to? But my feeling is, especially during the construction administration phase, we're probably running, you know, half as many people as we would have needed to normally.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's easier because everything is there, even if it hasn't been drawn yet. I mean, this is what happens. This is why construction administration within the architectural firm is so much work. Because if there's a question, it's usually not because there's something necessarily wrong. It's just that particular part of the building hasn't been drawn. And in a traditional process, it really hasn't been drawn. No one's thought about it. Yeah. Whereas in the BIM world, the information's there. You just have to go and make that slice and publish it, and it's done. So that was much, much easier.
Did you find much more of a heavy load earlier in design than you normally would? Or?
No, not really. Not really. What we did find was just a certain level of frustration with trying to get everyone's models in sync. You know, like I said, a weekly was a decent, you know, pace, but because it was a fast-track project, what we often got into were these I can't do my work because you haven't done yours, but I can't do my work because you haven't done yours situations. Yeah. Yeah. Or even situations where we'd exchange the models and find that we both made a change to react to something wrong in the other person's model and found that, well, it still didn't work because everything had changed again. Yeah. Right? Yeah, which is why I was saying, you know, a completely live model would be better.
Yeah.